All right, my friends, how are you today? Welcome back to more astrology time. Beautiful astrology here on beautiful planet Earth. We've got some interesting energy going on upstairs. We've got the moon moving through the later degrees of Virgo. It's going to create a trine over there to Pluto, Earth sign to Earth sign at 26 degrees. Virgo, 26 degrees, Capricorn, Pluto. This is about creating change. This is about us moving forward, being focused. This is about us going with the change. The sign of Virgo is all about creating change within ourselves, doing something that's going to have an impact, that's going to create a change in our lives or in other people's lives. As the sign of Taurus is about steadfast, where the sun is, where Mercury is, where Venus is, where Uranus is. This is about holding down the energy. Solid ground, the solid ground you walk on when you leave your house in the daytime. Virgo is about the trees that blossom, the flowers that bloom every year, those trees that bear fruit, and in the winter months, they die down. It goes with change to be taken over by the stronger energy of Libra, the cardinal air sign. So Virgo is about being focused, but also about changing. With Uranus in Taurus, this is about creating change in the tradition. With Pluto and Capricorn, which Capricorn is about the vastness, the peaks of the mountaintops and the valleys of the ocean, which why in old Vedic astrology, instead of a mountain goat, it was looked at as an alligator, because it's something from the sea and something from the land. It goes back and forth between both. So let me show you what this looks like here. So we have this little trine going on. There's a lot of energy going on with the moon early in the morning, as you see these two sesqui-squares, square, sesqui-square. We'll talk about that in a moment. This is about the work that we're doing, us being focused, creating change. Pluto is about creating change in the vastness of our government and how we govern ourselves, as Capricorn deals with government. It deals with structure and order, karma. Pluto's saying, look, I've got to take my time here. Saturn's been through here last year. Jupiter was through last year. And now it's time for me to create change within the government. Not just the government at large, but individually. Uranus is shaking things up about traditions. And Mercury is conjunct Uranus today. Venus was just conjunct Uranus yesterday. I mean, both of them are still conjunct Uranus. This is our love. This is our minds. This is creating a huge change. This is being, the quote of this today's horoscope is finding comfort in uncomfortable situations. It's finding new comfort because we cannot change. We can't hold on to something and expect it to change. And then the rest of the astrology that goes on today is going to reflect that as well. That we can't hold on to the past. We can't hold on to our old habits. We can't hold on to our old grudges or our old thoughts or our old feelings and expect something to change in our external environment. It's just not going to happen. And that's what this astrology is teaching us here. So this is saying stay focused about change and allow this change to come in. If you want the future, be the future. Be the change. This isn't pointing our fingers saying you need to do this, you need to do that. This is saying look, I'm the one that has the power here. I'm the one that's empowered to be able to do whatever I need to do to create the change that I am. And once I have that change and peace in my heart, then it just simply exists. And we're going to attract the other people, our soul tribe, that simply resonate in that same frequency. So we have Saturn here coming close here to this square here to Venus. It's square to Mercury. It's square to Uranus. This is pressure, tension. This is a release of tension. This is radical. Taurus is about traditions. Same old, same old. So it's like we're thinking differently. We're feeling differently. There's pressure to think and feel differently. There's radical emotions. There's radical ideas. There's radical concepts that are going along with this. And our Virgo moon here is trying to figure out how to properly maneuver, how to see through the fog, to do whatever it is that we've got to do. And it's getting this little bit of help from Pluto, saying, look, we can change no matter what it is, no matter how big. If this is a mountain in our path, we can make a road. If this is a river that's in our path, Mars here in the water sign of Cancer, we can make a bridge. Whatever it is, we can construct it and we can make it perfect and we can find a way. You know, Saturn here is just like, look, we have to find a faster way to travel than by boat, than by sea. We have to find a faster way to travel than just simply by creating that bridge, or creating the bridge, or creating, you know, a road through a mountaintop. We can learn to fly. We're going to find faster ways. We're going to use technology to figure out whatever it is that we got to figure out here. So this is like using our precise mind, our precise brain, that analytical mind, to figure out how to maneuver and do something radically different. This is the Wright brothers. And by trial and error, we're going to fail. We're going to fail, and we're going to fail, and we're going to fail. And then we're going to get it right. We just got to stay focused. And then our moon here is going to move into the sign of Libra, cardinal air sign. It's about being patient as we're learning. And we still have this little trine going on to Pluto as we're starting to square Mars. Let me come back here for a second. This is something I've talked about on this channel before, and just by talking about the Wright brothers, it's like they failed again and again and again before they got the plane down, before they got their flying machine down, whatever the first they called it, I don't even know. I'm sure somebody will tell me here. Handstands and cross-country skiing. You have to fall on your face a lot before you get those two things down perfectly. Perfectly is subjective, but you know what I'm saying. If you keep trying to do a handstand and you keep falling over, it's because you got to lean into it. If you're trying to cross-country ski and you're trying to go faster, you got to lean into it. And leaning in means we're going to fall. And we're going to fall again and again and again until we seem to find balance. The moon in Libra. The moon in Libra finding balance, squaring Mars, which is in a new energy, dealing with all of these emotions. We might be getting frustrated. We might be wanting to give up. There's no point. Why bother creating this flying winged machine? Why bother continuing to try a handstand? Why bother continuing this new instrument? Why bother continuing to go down this path? Or maybe I should be putting my attention or energy elsewhere. And this is saying take time. It's going to take patience. Gonna take a whole lot of time. to do it right. You know, and that's the simple truth. It creates patience in our mind, patience in our breath, patience with our emotional body, patience by not getting so frustrated with ourselves if something doesn't work out right, patience with other people if something is not working out exactly how we intended to. There's more. There is more. As the day moves on, this is 1 p.m. The moon's going to square Mars on Saturday. As the day moves on here, we're going to start to get a grand air trine. Now, it's going to come into fruition more on Sunday morning. This is about balance. This is about patience, continuing, about justice as well. Saturn here is about karma, that you get out what you put in. North Node is about seeking this new way, the new truth of doing something. And if we look here, there it is, right around 11 p.m. my time, here in Detroit, Michigan. Saturn's going to square Venus, which means we could be getting frustrated. We might not understand something. We want something to go our way. This is about tension and finding a balance here. And the emotional moon is saying it's okay. We must be patient with ourselves. We must be patient with other people. Starting to oppose Chiron. Peace of our mind. Peace of our emotions. Not allowing our emotions to overflow, to overrule us. Not getting too frustrated with emotions. Not getting too frustrated if something doesn't work out. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this is like kind of the meat of the day. Now, lastly, this grand air trine, what's powerful about that is this is like a flood of knowledge. This is a flood of information. This is a flood of seeking one way of doing something, or seeking ultimate truth, or seeking multiple truths. This is about bringing it into myself, internalizing it, figuring out what works and what doesn't work, right? So Virgo energy is saying yes or no to something. And I like to look at this as like Egyptian mythology. There's your heart, like the balancing. When you die, is your heart going to weigh lighter than a feather or not? And this is about karma. Saturn up in Aquarius Saturn is the karma. Saturn is the judge. Virgo is saying yes to this, no to this. So it's like we're putting a coin in here, we're not putting a coin in here. Every time we say yes to something, we're putting a coin in that part of the scale. And at the end, it's like, are we creating the right balance? Balancing our hearts, balancing our minds, so that way when we go on to the next thing, whatever that next thing may be, afterlife or the next step, the next chapter in our lives, that we have peace, that we have balance, that we're doing it with patience, that we're doing it with peace of mind. So we're seeking truth, we're seeking answers, we're allowing time, we're trying to figure out what we're saying yes to, what we're saying no to, that Virgo energy. And if we're creating equal harmony and equilibrium here in our mind. And then this trine to Saturn, this is saying, look, this is, the work that, uh-oh. My camera just stopped, but I think we're still rolling. This is saying the work you're putting in here, don't get frustrated. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't be overbearing. Because lastly, look at this. Right here, the moon starting to oppose Chiron. Saturn, sextile to Chiron. North node, sextile Chiron. We have a grand water kite, or grand air kite. And what this means is everything that we're doing right now is going to bring some sort of emotional release and an emotional healing to ourselves by staying persistent in our minds, by staying balanced in our minds, by staying balanced in our breath. We're talking about air, Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. So we have all of these elements working together right now to create this healing, to add this fire into our lives. Add that fire. Exciting energy, my friends. As always, thank you for hanging out with me. Have a happy Saturday. Enjoying this beautiful energy, this smart, positive, influencing energy on ourselves, not allowing ourselves to get too flustered or frustrated, but having a clear vision of how to get through whatever it is that we're working on. It's going to be a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.